Welcome to Diamond's Divine Creations. I am your host, Tiffany. Thank you all so very much for joining me on today, guys. Thank you all for listening and for watching. I do hope you all are doing well and feeling well on today. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and of course comment, because that is your free way of showing your support to help grow my channel, guys. Okay, so today's delicious dessert recipe, guys, we're going to be making something really simple and easy that I call a creeping cobbler, guys. Okay, so real quick, we're going to go through the ingredients. Some very simple ingredients, guys. We're going to be using, you can use all-purpose flour or you can use self-rising flour. We're going to be using sugar, okay, salt, baking powder, cinnamon, and I'm also going to be using this Cinnamon Toast Crunch Cinnadust. Okay, guys, you need a stick and a half of butter. Okay, I'm going to be using some strawberries, and I'm going to be using some blueberries, guys. Okay, so real quick, we are going to get us some fruit here and put in our, hold on just a minute, guys. Gonna get us some fruit and we're gonna put it in our bowl and rinse our fruit off really good, guys. And then we're gonna go from there. This is so simple for us to do, guys. So I'm only gonna use about 3 strawberries, okay? Because I'm actually making, like, it's gonna be like a decent sized portion or what have you, but it's still like, it's just me and my daughter, so you know, obviously the more people you're preparing a dish for, the more you can, you know, more fruits and different things that you can use. Okay, guys, so just a couple of those. Okay, and we're gonna rinse those off and sit that aside real quick. Let it soak in that water till we get ready to use it, guys. Okay, now on your butter, guys, you're going to melt your butter, guys. Okay, so just put it in whatever melting dish that you have to melt your butter, okay? And then you're going to let that butter cool, okay? Not so much to the point where it gets solid all over again, but you don't necessarily want your butter like piping hot when you get ready to use it, which it doesn't really matter, to be quite honest, okay? Because the first time I made this, I think my butter was actually still kind of warm or what have you, because it's going to go in the oven. Like right after you do that, you're going to be putting it in the oven, so it's not even really going to matter. Okay, guys, so we're going to get this in the microwave, guys. Okay, guys, so once you get your butter melted, just set it aside real quick till we get ready to use it. I also meant to tell you all, we're going to be using some strawberry glaze. Okay, chop up your strawberries, okay, however many you decide to use, guys. We're going to pour that water off of the blueberries, okay, and we're going to set this aside until we get ready to use it as well, guys. Okay, so we're going to get us a big bowl, mixing bowl. Okay, guys, and so as for the ingredients, you all you need is like a cup of, if you want to, you can make this easy and you can use this better Betty Crocker, excuse me, pie crust, guys, okay? If you would like to do that, okay? I actually think I'm going to do a little bit of something else with that, guys, okay? I haven't really decided yet because the first time I did this, I just used what I made up, like what I did. I didn't put that extra crust on there. This is what you use to make a cobbler, okay? Depending on how you want your cobbler, okay? So I'm calling this a creeping cobbler, and it's because those fruits and different things that we're going to put in there is going to like seep down into our cobbler. This one, that particular one, there's like so many different ways to make a cobbler crust, guys, okay? But this one comes out like almost like cakey like, okay? Some people like that that crunchy like to their crust, like on the traditional like crust or cobbler that you have, like if you used to make a strawberry cobbler or peach cobbler. And I'm really like this, guys, to be honest with you. I do not like baked fruit, okay? Like how you normally, like the traditional way of making like the traditional way of making a cobbler. I don't like that baked fruit, like the sauce that is in. So you need 1/4. So what did I tell you? A cup to a cup and a half. It depends on how much you're making. Okay, I'm only going to be using a cup today. Okay, so a cup of flour, a cup of sugar. We're going to use like 1/4 teaspoon of salt, guys, and we're going to toss that in there. Okay, now you can use your cinnamon and by eye, however much you want to. Okay, well, I'm gonna do it by eye. I would definitely tell you like maybe a half a teaspoon, 1/4 to half a teaspoon. Okay, but I'm also gonna be using the Cinnatoast dust here. Okay, which is it's almost like, this is like a cinnamon sugar type of flavor, guys. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and you just kind of do that, per your liking. Okay, like however much like to taste that you would like. Okay, guys. So we did the 1/4 of salt. Okay, also, guys, you need 1 tablespoon of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, guys. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of our baking powder, and we're gonna sprinkle that in there. Set all of this aside, just like so. It is so quick and easy, guys. Okay, and then you're just going to mix in all of your dry ingredients. That's all of those pure dry ingredients. We're gonna blend this in really good, guys. That's like all you have to do to it. You want to make sure everything is blended really, really well. If you don't want to, if you just want, you can put your butter directly in the pan that you're going to bake this in, and put it in your oven, because you should already have your oven preheated to about maybe 350. I have mine on 330 right now, just because my oven cooks like really fast, so I have to turn it down a little bit. So if the temp I need is like 350, I put it on like 330. Okay. What have you. So we're gonna blend that really good, guys. Really quick, simple, easy. You definitely want to make sure you have no clumps or chunks in there of that baking powder or even that sugar. Everything needs to be blended really well and fine. That way it's looking like this, guys. Okay. get that done. We're also going to be using a cup of milk, guys, okay? As well, guys. So with whatever pan you're going to be using, you're just going to pour that butter in your pan, just like that, guys, okay? And then we're going to get us a cup of milk and add to our dry mixture. Okay, guys, so we're going to take our cup of milk and we're going to add in to our dry ingredients, guys, and we're going to give this a stir, okay? Now, there are, like I told you, there are like so many different ways to make cobbler crust, guys, okay? It depends on the texture that you want in your cobbler. Oh, you know what? I told you all a cup. You can use 1 cup to a half a cup. Okay, just being honest with you. Okay. I only used a cup of flour. I will tell you this though, if you decide to go with a cup and a half of the flour and the sugar, then use a cup of milk, okay? However, if you only going to use a cup of the flour and the sugar, only use like a half a cup of milk. I actually just thought about that, guys. But it's no, it's no big deal. You can actually use either or. So it's not going to mess this up or anything like that, guys, okay? So when you get that all blended, we're just going to pour this mixture into our pan that we have our butter in. Now, for those, like I said, there's different ways to make this cobbler crust depending on the texture that you want. For those of you who want a more like maybe like a firmer, more crispier type of crust, you don't have to use the milk or the baking powder, okay? You could just use all the dry ingredients that you're going to use and mix it in with your butter, okay? And then add that to your pan just like that, and it'll come out kind of dry and crumbly like, or what have you. It'll be still like, moist and soft or whatever, but it'll be more crumbly like, okay? Because this is going to come out cake-like. You see how it's after you mix everything, it's more like a batter, okay? So we're just going to add this to our pan real quick, just like this. And for those of you all who decide to do something real quick, if you don't have time for this and you don't have all the ingredients, you can get that Betty Crocker pie crust, and all you have to do, it has all the ingredients in it. All you have to do is add water, okay? So we're gonna get this all in here, guys. Gonna give it a little swirl around. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different with this one, okay? Last time all I did was use this batter that we just made up, and then I just added the other ingredients that I wanted to add. So we are going to be dropping in that fruit, okay? Just right on the top. You don't have to mix it in, okay? Or anything like that. You're just gonna drop it in there, just like so. These are some big old blueberries. So as much or as little as you would like, guys, okay? Just like that, guys. And that's it. Like, you can bake it. Oh, but I'm going to use the glaze as well, guys, okay? And I'm going to show you what I mean. Because I'm also going to do a top layer crust, okay? And for this, I just decided instead of mixing up another batter, that I'm going to use this, okay? So on the Betty Crocker pie crust or what have you. It comes just like this, guys. Only thing you have to do is rip this bad boy open, and the directions just calls for you to use like a cup of cold water. No, actually, no, not a cup. 1/3 of a cup, okay, of cold water, guys. Okay, so you're gonna put your batter in there just like that, and you're gonna get you add you 1/3 of a cup of cold water. Just like that, guys, and we are going to mix this together, okay? I believe this is going to come out. This is going to be like a lot more. You see how crumbly it is? This is like going to come out like kind of like how that original crust like would be, okay? That you would see on a cobbler. When you're making this, and if you want your cobbler like that, and it has that, you know, it's going to be crumbly looking like this. Okay, so don't think you've done something wrong if it's looking like this or what have you. That's how that original crust is supposed to come out. Like it's going to fill itself out and do what it's supposed to do and everything. Once it gets going and bacon and all of that, guys. Okay. Just a little bit softer, so I'm adding a little bit more water. You follow directions according to you, okay? I can eyeball a lot of things and get stuff the way I want it exactly. Okay, guys? So, after we do that, we're going to open up our glaze here. Bear with me while I get this open, okay? And you're just gonna spoon this in, just like how we drop that other fruit in there, and what have you guys. We're just gonna spoon in this glaze, okay? And for those of you who like cheesecakes and different things, like you can see it on the picture here. This is the type of glaze that you use, like if you don't want to puree strawberries and all of that stuff to make your own glaze from scratch. This is what you use. Like if you wanted, like you would chop you up some strawberries and you would put this glaze in a bowl and cover your strawberries with it, okay? And have that like put that on top of your cheesecakes and different things like that, guys. Okay, but it's like really good by itself. Okay, so guys, we are just going to spoon in our other crust here, guys. Okay, just right on top, up there. If you want to mold it, you know, put in your hand and mold it the way you want to, and you know, lay it out on there. You could do that, or you could just kind of, you know, crumble it in if you want to, or what have you. It'll do what it's supposed to do once it gets baking. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do, and then we're gonna spoon in our glaze on the top, which is going to seep through that crust, guys. So we basically have a double layered crust going on, okay? The one that I made from scratch, it's going to come out cakey like, okay? And this one, you see how crumbly yet sticky and moist it is? This is going to give it like almost like a, you know, like your traditional crust, like that. It's so soft and gooey and good that it's still so like it's got a little crisp to it or what have you. Now you don't have to do this extra step if you don't want to, okay? If you don't want to do the extra crust step, like do this step here, what we did, you just put your stuff in there. After you add your fruit, you just put it in the oven from there. Let it bake for probably about 35 minutes. Okay? It's really kind of depending on how fast your oven cooks and everything, guys. I should have totally put my gloves back on. Cause this could get messy. I'll be hands, honey. Okay, but yeah, we're just gonna do this like this, and that's it, guys. We're gonna spoon on that glaze, and we're gonna pop this in the oven. Okay, just like that. Hold on, guys. Hands got a little messy. Let me wash my hands. Okay, guys, so you're just gonna take some of this glaze and you can just drizzle it however you want to drizzle it, right on the top of here. You already know we added our strawberries in there. This is not just going to sit on top like this. It's going to, as it bakes, it's going to creep its way down into the crust, guys. That's why I'm calling this what did I say I was going to call this? A crumble cobbler, mixed berry crumble cobbler, something like that. I'll think of a name by the time it gets done, guys. Okay, so you can put as much or as little, you know, if you like your cobblers really fruity like or what have you. You can put as much as you would like, guys. Okay. But since we got that other fruit in there, then, you know, I'm not going to do a whole lot more of this. If I can get it to come along. Okay? So just like that, guys, okay? And we're going to put this in the oven for about 35 minutes, guys, okay? Okay, guys, so voila, here's our finished dish, guys, and I guess I'm just gonna call this a mixed berry crumble cobbler. Okay, guys, so that's our finished product. Okay, now if we had not put that extra pie crust, cobbler crust on top of there to have that crumble ness to it or what have you, all of this that you see here, all the fruit stuff, it would have sunk down. And if you just used a regular batter that I made from scratch, everything would have sunk down in there or what have you, and you wouldn't have that crumble look. It would look real smooth like. That's how I made it the first time, but I decided to do it crumbly like. Okay, for the sake of this dish, guys. Okay, and I let this cool just a little bit, but it's actually still kind of warm, guys. So we're going to slice this however you want to, okay? And we're gonna plate this thing up and we're going to taste it. So just like this, guys, and you can cut it however you would like to, and whatever size pieces you want to, just depend on how many people you're feeding. Like I said, I be doing these things, and I be trying to make smaller portions, which is just me and my daughter. It'd be different if you got a big old huge family to feed and a lot of friends and family, but I don't, honey, okay? So this is the reason why it'd be like, you know, a little while in between me doing these videos for you all, just because of the simple fact that it's just us. So it, you know what I'm saying, it'd take me a little bit to get this stuff eaten, and it'd be like leftovers sometime or what have you, And yeah, I just have a whole bunch of extra dishes with a lot of leftover and stuff. If I just did them back to back to back like that, I would have you guys. So that is so good. That's what we got going on, y'all. Okay. And so here's the slice. This is what it looks like. We got some nice little blueberry right there. We got some strawberries down in there and what have you. So that's what it's looking like, guys. So let's set this aside and we're gonna get us some pork and we're gonna try this. Okay, guys. So guess what, y'all? It's time to eat. Bon appetit. Grab you a plate because it's time for our dessert date. Go ahead, take you a bite because this is another's Diamond's Delicious Delights. Thank you all so very much for listening and for watching. And until the next time, guys, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God. Y'all, look how that is like still kind of dropped a piece. Still kind of steaming. This is like so moist, guys. You should totally try it. Y'all, this is so doggone good. Get you some. Okay? Till the next time. Peace.